Traffic has been at a standstill for an hour on this road outside the Philippine capital, Manila. The policeman in charge of directing traffic here is on a break. Mark Ruiz is used to the disruption.
Yeah, well, it comes with a job. Honestly, it comes with it. You know, especially if you go outside, in very urban areas, it's traffic and gridlock. In areas like this, these are the portions that can, make things very, very tricky as you travel. The good news, though, is that the further you go out, there are less cars, but that also means less roads.
Finally, the policeman returns and waves the drivers on. Mark Ruiz makes his appointment on time. 75-year-old Remedios Gonzalez owns a so-called Sari-Sari shop. She's been running the small convenience store in front of her home for more than 40 years. She earns about €2 a day from the sale of everyday items.
Small shops, small Sari-Sari stores aren't used to maintain records, but this is one of the things that we consider very important.
Remedios has learned how to keep records from her advisor, Mark Ruiz.
These are the purchases actually from the suppliers. So 2 trays of itlog, which means eggs, so 290 pesos. So these are actually the logs of the ones that are inputted, her purchases from her suppliers. And before it would be more disjointed, but now actually everything has to be diligently listed down.
Keeping track of the accounts helps the shop owner save money and maintain an overview of her purchases. There are more than 1 million Sari-Sari shops in the Philippines. They account for 1/3 of the country's retail trade. Most of them operate independently without outside backing. The Hapinoy program wants to change that. It provides assistance to small shops, many of which are run by women. One of them is Nina Santiago. As a result of the advice and training she received, she's been able to expand her product range. Now she knows for sure what her customers want.
I learned a lot from the Hapinoy training. The most important aspect was my personal development. I've become more confident and have come to understand the importance of the customer. That's how I differentiate myself from other stores. I've organized my shop to make it look better and more inviting.
Cosmetics, for example, come in little bags. Many customers can't afford to buy larger quantities. Mark is pleased with the store's progress.
A very, very good assortment and a very, very organized store. Actually, if you look at other shops, they're very, very messy. And so the layout of this shop actually is very, very professional. And that's really part of the training that is very important. Like what was mentioned earlier is visual merchandising, and that's one of the things we actually also teach, because that allows not only the shop owner to make sense of all of these products, because there are literally hundreds of different kinds of products right now in this fairly small store.
Later, Mark attends an information event at a natural cosmetics store. Here he meets other Filipino social entrepreneurs. It's still a relatively small group, but their number is growing and their ideas are catching on. Making a profit is not the primary goal. Participating stores pay higher wages than other businesses and offer social benefits as well. Mark founded Hapinoy with his college friend Bam Aquino. They've been working together for several years. Aquino was appointed a senator in 2013. He wants to improve conditions for social entrepreneurs.
I think the first germ of the idea probably will come from a social entrepreneur or an idea from the fringe, and government steps in when this is ready to be mainstreamed. But that role of coming up with an innovation, coming up with that new idea, I think is still best for the social enterprises.
Mark travels thousands of kilometers each year. He used to work for the multinational company Unilever, but he wanted to do something he considered more meaningful. He earns far less working for Hapinoy. Instead, he gets to experience the feeling of helping people on a daily basis.
It's inexplicable. I mean, I wake up every day excited to go to work. And I mean, it's like, I'm just energized and passionate. And I think this is the kind of work that will energize me, I guess, for the decades to come.
His dream of finding meaningful work has finally come true. Hapinoy roughly translates as the happy Filipino. And that's exactly how Mark Ruiz feels when he's traveling around the Philippines, stopping by at one Sari-Sari shop after another.